Imagine shooting 63-63 to qualify for the US Open, going to Oakmont as a 17-year-old junior in high school. I think we want to talk to this guy. So let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Tricks, you know what I'm talking about? That lettuce, that lettuce. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. That lettuce, that lettuce, focused all on the check. Yeah, all I want is lettuce. Yeah, just give me the lettuce. Yeah, just give me the lettuce.
Let us heads. We are back with another edition of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. Today you got Goldy, and I am fighting through a little bit of a cold, so bear with me if we're a little nasally, but we're as medicated as we can be safely to conduct a conversation. Because tonight's going to be a good one. We're going to be diving into the world of elite junior amateur golf. And to help me do that, I'm going to be bringing on a guest who he might know a thing or two about what's going on with the next wave of future elite professional golfers. We might be watching on TV in a few years because everyone in the golfing world was probably captivated this summer when the 17-year-old, I think now 18-year-old high school junior qualified for the US Open at Oakmont and qualified in epic fashion, right? So a bogey-free 63-63 18 under at Piedmont Driving Club in Atlanta, Georgia. Absolutely incomprehensible levels of golf. As a fellow Georgian, a native, I've played this course a couple times. We're talking north of 7,200 yards, course rating of 75. And I didn't play it in US Open qualifier conditions, and I didn't shoot 63, and I kind of know what I'm doing. So it's pretty, pretty insane stuff. But more than that, he's won high school state team championship, individual championship, won the 2022 Junior Future Masters, 2023 Billy Horschel Junior Championships, and advanced to match play in the 2024 US Junior Am. Now he's heading into his senior year of high school after a summer filled of AJGA and USGA championships. He's committed to UGA, the number one powerhouse for churning out successful professional golfers. Go Dogs. And is currently one of the top ranked junior golfers in the world. So we got a lot to unpack. So let us, without further ado, please welcome to the podcast, Mr. Mason Howell. Mason, how are we doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good, man. So we talked for a minute before, we got going, but I didn't jump into how's the summer treating you? Like outside, we're gonna dive into Oakmont. I don't want to derail the whole pod just talking about Piedmont and Oakmont because I know you've talked about it a little bit, but we've got to ask you a few questions. But is there anything going on that's non-golf related for you right now, or is it just golf 24/7?
No, I actually haven't picked up a club in 2-3 days. I just got back from the beach. So a little time off, 4th of July week, and
I got you.
I gotta keep my mind off it somehow, or else I'd drive myself crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it's a all-consuming sport, and as you get older, your brain only goes more neurotic. So enjoy it while you can, where you get some clean thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. Get out there. I just got back from the Superman movie. Took my
Yeah.
kids, so there you go. Go check that. It was worth the watch. Um, But also community note here. I think you're probably playing, I'm assuming, in the upcoming US Junior Am and US Am. So if you happen to knock one of those off with a W, this is just this is your public commitment. You got to come back on. We got to talk about that for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
But best of luck to you going into it. But I do real quick. I want to talk about the qualifier. So Piedmont 63-63. I don't know if you knew this, did a little digging. So in 1951 is when USGA went to 36 hole aggregate scoring for the qualifiers. You tied for the third lowest qualifying score of all time. So it's not just that it was a 63-63, it was a historic performance. So was the form there leading into it? Did you have a 63-63 in the back of your mind? Walk us through that a little bit.
So crazy enough, at home that week, I had been playing really good. My putter was super hot, and just ball striking it well, hitting it well off the tee. But in my home golf course, you can kind of hit it anywhere and rolling putts from anywhere. It's not too difficult of a golf course. But I knew I was playing well going up to Piedmont. And then when I got there, it's different types of greens than what I play on. I play on Bermuda, and it's bent up in Atlanta. A lot more hazard and water on the golf course than I'm used to seeing. But no, I had such a steady practice round that going into Monday, I knew what I had what it took to qualify.
So, what is that line though? So again, I play with some good golfers. When I always tee it up, you have professionals, you have elite amateurs. So you're in this elite amateur status now, and then you have good club golfers who think they're good. They're the guys debating foreplay whether or not they're going to beat a LPGA pro when they get waxed by 10 strokes. But how does that really translate when you go in? Because you're the youngest guy in the field. It's mainly professional golfers. You got Zach Johnson there, all these types. I know you've played in some big time events, but at what point in that round are you really able to keep that clarity, or is there a certain point when you're just like, is this? Let me ask it this way: Is this the lowest? Is this the lowest 36 hole composite score you've ever had?
Yeah, yeah, that lowest 36 hole, and I was fortunate I got to do it in the same day because that was over 2 days, and there was going to the second day would have been unreal.
Yeah, because you guys finish, and there's probably not that long of a turn time before you're teeing off again, right? What's that
Yeah,
gap?
we had the first round was actually pretty slow, so we had about 25-30 minutes. So I went inside, ate a burger as quick as I could, and felt like I was right back on the tee.
Yeah, that's kind of best case scenario when you're hot though, right? For
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah, it's like an extended wait at a tee, and you just
I
go
was
right
getting
back.
texts and like looking at the leaderboard on my phone. I was like, I need to put this up and I need to go do it again. So
Okay, so that's I was gonna ask you. So you look at the leaderboard in between rounds? Do you do any
I was,
leaderboard check-in during
yeah,
rounds, or is it
no, in between rounds was the only time I looked at it. And actually, I was on 18 the second round, so I was pretty much done. But I just had no idea what was going on. I was just trying to cruise as much as I could, and I asked my caddy. We were on 18. He was like, can I look at the leaderboard?" And he was like, "Absolutely not. We haven't looked at it all day."
I gotcha.
Yeah,
So, well, good on him. So it's
yeah,
a good shout out to the caddies out there. So I mean, again, I don't know the best way of asking it. We've talked about flow state on the pod before. We tell you hear it in basketball a lot when you just get unconscious. We talked a little basketball before we got started, so that was one of your
yeah.
early loves as well. Have you felt a flow state like that on the golf course?
In competition like that in that big of an environment, like that was my first ever final qualifier for US Open. I was close last year. But, like the start I got off to, I think I was 4 under through 5 starting on the back 9. And once I got off to that start, I I knew I had what it took because that golf course can bite you, but it was pretty gettable. I think like there were few people over par for the entire thing event. So yeah, no, I but once I feel like I get my putter hot, I feel like I can't miss sometimes.
Oh, that's a great feeling, and we love good putters around here. There's not enough of them out there, so we ride for the hot putter crew. What's your previous or what's your career low round?
So
Tournament, non-tournament.
yeah, non-tournament, 59 at my home
Mm,
golf course,
where's that?
Glenarvan Country Club in Thomasville, Georgia.
One of the best golf courses in the Southeast. I
They're,
know
they're
that they don't want the all the accolades, but
yeah,
it's definitely one. If I could pick a home club, that'd be in my top few.
they're awesome. They're so good to us juniors that practice out there every day and kind of take up the course a little bit sometimes, but no, they're awesome. So 59 out there. That was 2 years ago, I think, and then yeah, 9 under competition round. Did it
Oh,
twice a day. So yeah, that was yeah.
so I just gotta ask, like, you just couldn't gut out a 62 on that second 18? You just couldn't
I
find one
I
shot
definitely had
somewhere?
it. I definitely had it. When I went back, I recorded, like, on Golf Channel, the Golf's Longest Day, so I could go
Mhm.
back and watch just to see if I got any TV time even before the qualifier.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, the only 2 putts they showed were on, like, 14 and 15 coming down the stretch, and I missed both of them from, like, 7 feet for birdie. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, not the other 18 birdies or whatever, but yeah, we caught the 2 that he missed, so go figure.
Yeah, no, the announcers were like, "I bet he hasn't missed much of those today," and I was like, "Yeah, they got me at a bad time." They had the camera crew out there, and I had birdied the 2 previous holes, but they decided
Yeah.
to put the misses on there.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have to contact them to get the unedited, footage, get you own your rights, man, like, fight the good fight. Okay, so Piedmont, so now we're going to Oakmont, right? So, tell us that. What's the first thing you did when you got onto the grounds at Oakmont?
Yeah, so we went the Sunday before the tournament started. We traveled on the Saturday before, and we went out there Sunday morning. unreal. Had the valet parking for the players, got the courtesy car, which was so dumb. Um, yeah, went through registration, found out really all the perks, and then my caddy and I, Jimmy Gillum, my high school coach and assistant pro down here at Glenarvan, we uh we just kind of walked around, tried to get the lay of the land, and once we kind of knew what we were doing, where the driving range was, where he could register as a caddy, where the locker room is, we went out to the front nine on that Sunday and walked the front nine. It was pouring down rain. The weather was not great all week at Oakmont, but yeah, that's when I knew it was going to be a challenge walking that, seeing the golf course for the first time. I heard it was going to be hard, but I saw it and I was like, this is going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, we went and played the back nine that afternoon and got a good taste of what was coming and got ready for the week. But it was honestly really great to go out there that Sunday before there were any fans, and kind of really get some practice in. Because I would honestly say the most nervous I was all week was on Monday, the first practice round, the first day there were fans out there. I was like, yeah, this is really real.
Yeah, I could imagine. So, do you ever still hit like where did that come from shots? And I'm not talking about like, oh, I my little push block and I dumped it short into a bunker. But do you still ever have like the kid shots in the bag? Like, are we ever rolling one, hitting a shank? So it's got to be pretty amped up
Yeah,
on the
so
pressure
actually,
front.
yeah, this week I was in Flagstaff, Arizona, playing in the Wyndham Cup, which is a AJGA East versus West deal, like Ryder Cup format. And I was on 18, and me and my buddy weren't playing that good. Our four ball match tied going into 18. I was in the middle of the fairway and like not shanked, but pretty much shanked like a 4 iron from the middle,
Mm,
going for a par five and two, just low right, straight right. And I turned and looked at it and started laughing. I was like, I don't know what just happened, but
yeah, that's yeah. That
it'll
they're
happen.
all they're there.
Yeah, you'll see Scotty hit some bunker shots off the hosel, so it happens to everybody.
He does. He has a good compilation of bunker shanks, so I watch
Yeah,
it from time to time when I feel bad about myself. So I don't that is a weird thing he's got. It's specifically in the bunker. So yeah, so Oakmont, we know it's a beast. All the raging debates of what would the scratch golfer shoot, what would the 10 handicapper shoot. You had a pretty respectable showing, all things considered, right? I mean, yeah, you broke 80 both rounds, so I think that's more than most people could say. A lot of guys in the field didn't do that. But how hard was it? The hardest golf course you've ever played?
absolutely. And like for normal conditions, other than finishing my second round, limited win, like not much going on, and it was still the hardest golf course I've ever played. The second round, I had to come back out Saturday morning to finish my second round, just because the weather was so bad finishing on Friday night. But yeah, hardest golf course I ever played.
So, what about it? Yeah, I mean, outside of the obvious 5.5 inch rough, what are some things that maybe the viewer doesn't catch on TV that challenges a great player?
Yeah, absolutely. So when the course was redone, they redid the bunkers as well. I mean, the rough's so thick the ball wasn't ever going to roll into a bunker.
Hmm.
But when the ball does land into the bunker, they made them all completely flat, so the ball just chases up to the face of it. So every time you're in a fairway bunker, and sometimes a greenside bunker, you're going to be right up against the lip. So you're just still having to wedge it out, which just made sometimes when the rough's that thick, you're aiming for bunkers and not the rough. So you'd rather be hitting out of a bunker, but at Oakmont, it didn't really make much of a difference.
It looked like a beast, and yeah, I saw a couple guys try to bite off more than they could chew when they were in those bunkers, and you're catching a lip, and then you're back in it, or you're back in 5 inch rough, or some areas where you get that like native fescue that was a foot and a half tall.
I mean, I only played. I guess I played 2 rounds, but I think I was in like 3 fairway bunkers or something. And
Hmm.
every time I just grab my sand wedge and just either try to make clean contact, but chunk it out back into the fairway and just give myself a chance.
Any signature moment from that you're gonna remember forever?
hmm Um, Probably birdie on hole two, which was starting my second round. Um, I had a bunch of friends and family from Thomasville and surrounding areas that went up to watch, and yeah, two was kind of difficult for fans to get across that bridge that goes from one to two.
Oh, yeah, over the interstate
Yeah,
there? Mhm.
and but everybody made it up to the green. I was debating with my caddy on that hole whether to lay back. I laid back the day before, made bogey. So we decided to rip driver at the green, and hit an okay shot in the rough, just greenside, and chipped it up there to about 15 feet and was about an inch from it rolling back. Chris got her up. I actually played with Chris got her up, who just won today.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was awesome.
Let's go, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, his ball was like an inch short of mine and rolled 20 yards back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then I made that putt and to start 1 under through 2 and got a big. There were 2 big grandstands right there. Got a big roar from friends and family, and that was big moment, special
Man.
moment. I'll remember for forever.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well deserved. So I'll wrap up unless you got any closing comments on it. I'll get off the Piedmont and Oakmont piece, but definitely look, man, it's awesome. No matter what happens in your golf career, to be able to accomplish that, it really is borderline unheard of. I know high schoolers occasionally qualify for the U.S. Open, but the fashion you did it in, and getting to go to Oakmont and just the carnage, the history, and composing yourself. And hey, man, you beat Justin Rose and Shane Lowry too. I had that note. So go Mason, right? All right, so I want to talk about the AJGA, and maybe I have it labeled AJGA, but the kind of junior golf scene in general coming up. So, like for you, when did you really start ramping up, getting into competitive golf?
Mhm. So I've played golf's just been a big part of my life. I mean, I played my first tournament when I was 6, but I really wasn't serious about it.
Right.
Obviously, nobody's serious about anything at that age. Um, but I would say I got really serious about it at 11 or 12. And like my pinnacle tournament every year was that tournament in Dothan, the Future Masters. Everybody at that age, that's one they always want to win. And in 2022, when I won that, that's when I knew I was going to be able to compete with some of the best juniors in the country. And I played my first U.S. junior that year, and just tournaments like that. And yeah, so it's been definitely a big journey, but I'd say I've been really serious about it for the last 5 years, 6 years.
So when you say serious, so what does it look like for you? What is your you don't have to give me a daily breakdown, but what does you're ramping up, you got something big coming up in a couple weeks or a couple months, whatever it is. What does your preparation window and practice look like?
Yeah, no, when I mean serious, I mean like I try to play golf every day.
Hmm.
Um, like bringing clubs on family vacations, things like that.
Enjoy it, because I try to do that, and my wife isn't as accommodating when I tell her I too take my golf seriously. But for some reason, when I sneak those clubs in I got 2 little kids, it's not as easy. But sorry.
No,
So
yeah.
yeah, family vacations, golfing every day. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, when I'm at home, just practicing as much as I can, which, I mean, there's a limit. And people say they can go out there and beat balls for 3, 4 hours. You'll just wear yourself out
Yeah,
and
there's got to be a diminishing return eventually on
make
that,
the
right?
game not fun. So I try to spend most of my time on the golf course, just playing with my buddies and like I'll get range work in um, for like an hour on the range by myself. But like if you're having fun doing that, then you're just a psychopath. So,
Well, unfortunately, golf attracts a lot of that personality, but that's good to
yeah.
hear. I mean,
No,
so
I really would like enjoy playing golf on the golf course with my buddies. I feel like we're also competitive.
right.
That's what makes us better.
Yeah, I think playing and again, different levels, but playing with good players, playing with competitive folks, you learn something all the time from people. You pick up cues, and who doesn't like the competition and being out with there. And as being an old fuddy duddy now compared to you, is really who you play with brings out the enjoyment in golf, because the game can bring you down. It could get monotonous. It could get challenging. It can get frustrating, but really who you go with. It's part of, even within Please Let Us Golf. I was telling you, a lot of what we debrief folks on is our travels. And
Yeah,
as fun as it is, and people go, "Oh, you're so lucky. You go here, you go here." And we are, and we do enjoy it. But it's really who we're with that makes it 10 times better. Like you could go play your home course or a muni, and you're a good group, it could be more enjoyable than playing some of these bucket list places people
yeah.
want to go to.
No,
Um,
absolutely.
so again, so on the junior or on the practice front. So you would say a lot of yours is on course,
Mhm.
Not as so how much are you getting into the technical side? Do you have a coach that you get with occasionally, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I have a swing coach, Bill Conley. He's actually here in Thomasville. Harris English went to him when he was younger, so it's
Mhm,
Harris English is around this area.
mhm,
It's from around this area, and yeah, so he's my swing coach that I meet with. We really tried during the school year, like every Friday, but it never works out. So it's like once every 2 to 3 weeks, which is good because it gives me the opportunity to look at my swing and maybe if something's getting in a bad spot that fix quickly and easily, just so something drastic doesn't happen. Then I have like a putting coach, Jimmy Gillum, who's my caddy, and also high school golf coach who I play golf with all the time. So he watches me play, watches me putt. So that's pretty easy there. But yeah, I all my most of my practice is done on the golf course. Even if I go out on the golf course and play myself and just throw a ball and like, can I get up and down from here?
right.
Just play mental games, things like that.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. So, um, so we talked about, preparation. We talk about, the cadence for you because you're talking about a different level of player of the check-ins with the coach. What about like the on-course, like tournament preparation, or do you do any like golf course management system? Do you do decade golf? Do you do anything like that, or how do you prep for an event?
Yeah, prepping for tournaments is definitely something I go out and play like a lot. Either just like games with my friends or things like that, just because you'll really kind of find out where your game is struggling the most on the golf course.
Hmm.
Everybody can have a bad range session, and you can go out on the golf course and hit it perfectly fine.
Hmm.
But the golf course kind of exposes your weaknesses, so I use that as much as possible before tournaments to show what I need to work on going into that event. And like if you have a one way miss, you know which side not to aim on. So things like that.
So, what about the course itself? So, if you're going to a relatively new venue, so a lot of these USGA championships, I'm assuming it's the first time you're seeing the course a lot of times. Is it your comfort level just knowing, hey, I'm doing all this work leading up, I know where my game's at? Are you just laser focused in your practice rounds? How deliberate is your plan and strategy when you get to that first tee on a Thursday?
Yeah, no. So yes, sometimes depending on weather or where the golf course is, I'll go practice different shots or just mentally prepare for something I'm not make myself uncomfortable because I know any golf course you go to is going to be different, and so there's going to be shots that you're going to feel uncomfortable on. And like this year, the U.S. Juniors in at Trinity Forest in Dallas, there's only one tree on the golf course, so I know it's going to be windy. So practicing flighted shots is going to be big. So just things like that.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I mean, I think those are the things. That's what I was trying not to pry, not to get you to give your book of Mason secrets out there. But we just had a conversation a couple weeks ago. The pod will come out this. I say next week. By the time this comes out, it'll be released with Scott Fawcett and Decade Golf, and very much into the data golf and strokes gained and shot pattern and where you aim. And it's just like just talking to players, there's some people that are way on that side that they have a very deliberate data-based approach to golf, and then there's some that are more feel as the rounds going on, and then most I would say is some kind of hybrid in between. So it's just kind of interesting picking your brain of where you're at and where you prepare. So I'm a dad. I mentioned I got a 3-year-old and 6-year-old now officially their birthdays have passed, and 6-year-old's into golf. I think it's because dad might force it on him in a positive way. It's all candy and getting Coke at the golf course. What advice would you give to dads out there that have moms and dads that have daughters, sons that are getting into the game young? How did you stay interested in it?
Yeah. No. So my mom nor my dad played golf. Really,
Oh, really?
my dad
Hmm.
played golf in law school, but like once a month, maybe something like
Yeah.
that. And then so when I was born, my dad was still like loved to watch golf on TV. And so I would watch it with him, and then occasionally, like once a month, he'd go out to the country club, and I'd ride in the cart with him, make a couple swings, and then I just kind of fell in love with it. And he was like, got me a set of plastic clubs. I'd beat a ball all throughout the house. And so it's just like the gradual movement into the game. It's not something like you just want to throw upon somebody at that age because they'll fall out of interest really quickly.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so just try not to force anything, and I think that's where kids that age have the most fun. And I tried every sport. I tried baseball. I tried basketball. I swam. Like I literally did it all, and golf beat out all of those for my favorite sport. And I've just fell in love with it. Still in love with it, and I think it's because it was my choice to play golf, not my parents made me play golf. If that makes any sense.
No, it's you hit on a couple things there. One, not hyper specializing at a young age. I see it so much, especially, you don't pay attention to it and then you have kids. And like I said, I have a 6-year old. I got a little bit older of a nephew, and you just see it. And it's like, man, go play 3, 4 sports and figure it out. And I think playing those sports, you're honing in on those motor skills that are going to benefit you in the other sports. Like I could see it when my kid finishes soccer, goes into basketball, and basketball goes into baseball. You could see where things they picked up is just a benefit. And it helps the kid figure out, I think, on a longer duration of where they net out, what they actually like. Also, that you have an ace in the hole because if Glenarvan was your home club, even when you were a kid, it introduced you to endless fun, great golf. That who couldn't fall in love if Glenarvan was your home course. So I still don't think I've played a course in Georgia that can maintain tee to green as firm, fast, and fun of conditions year round as that golf course. I go with my father-in-law from time to time, and um, I like it because all skill levels can enjoy it. If he wants to hit the bump and run from 30 yards out
Yep.
and use the
Yep.
contours, that's a play. Sometimes it's the good play. You get short sighted out there, a little grainy Bermuda.
Yeah.
Uh,
Most kids
so
can call up high.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely. I know you said it wasn't the hardest course. It's not cupcake golf either. It's a good test of golf for us normal folk. But yeah, no, good. It's awesome, man. So let's talk about what's next. So you've had the sub. We talked early on. You got a couple big championships coming up, right? You got the U.S. Junior Am and then
Yep.
the U.S. Am in August. Uh, you're going into your senior year of high school, so we want to enjoy that. And then we're going to UGA, right? We're committed to UGA. So what was that process like of selecting UGA? Was that always like that's where you wanted to go, or was it a pretty? There was a lot of suitors for Mason. How'd that work?
Yeah, UGA was always back in my mind when I was growing up where I wanted to play golf. Every year when I was young, going to Athens, watching football games. Mom graduated from there. My dad went to law school there. My sister's there right now. So really just running the family. But going into recruiting at golf, I mean, you want to keep your options open because you might fall in love with something that you just didn't think you would. And so I took 3 visits and yeah, just continued to fall in love with Georgia and figured I would have a great class coming in with me. I know a lot of the kids, a lot of are some of my best friends. So yeah, really looking forward to the future there. Excited to get there. Ready to skip this last year of high school. But
Hey, don't enjoy it though. I get it now.
but
Uh,
knowing what powerhouse Georgia has been and the tour level,
mhm.
that was a big part of my selection.
Yeah, so I mean, I teed it up front, but there's no uh, college that's turned out as many successful tour players than UGA. Knowing some folks that have been there, it's pretty cool. It's going to be fun to watch. Yeah, and I think we're definitely going to be pulling from a distance. We might have a new reinvigoration to cover some college golf via Please Let Us Golf when Mason gets to UGA. So what do you have any? What are your expectations transitioning into being a D1 golfer? Right, times are different now, so you're already playing this elite amateur schedule. You're golfing daily. You're playing in championships, but how does that mindset change, or some things that expectation wise are going to be different going into that lifestyle?
Yeah, no, absolutely. College is in my view is a big stepping stone, like junior golf, college golf, PGA Tour. That's how I look at it. And with the newly added like PGA Tour U,
Hmm.
um, it just makes it so much easier for a lot of these guys out of college to have such a good opportunity to get a Corn Ferry card or PGA Tour Americas and just work their way up the ladder. That 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of these guys were just going to Q school right out of college and testing their luck or hoping they played well as an amateur to get some sponsor exemptions and just things like that. So taking the college route is it's definitely a big stepping stone now as there's so many opportunities and you see all these college players playing in tour events now. Like Koiven just top 10, I think.
Hmm.
He's already got his tour card, so things like that.
Yeah, PGA Tour U, they have made some positive changes. I'm not going to make you say anything negative about the PGA Tour. That could be your future employer. But certainly there's some interesting aspects of how the tour is ran as a player ran league. And they've had some bylaws that have made it hard for the up and comers to get a shot. And now that's been broken through. And I think you're going to continue to see it. A lot of really, really talented 20-year-olds that are getting through PGA Tour U, getting more exemptions into KFT events, translating more into PGA Tour starts, more cards going out. So that's all good. It's more opportunities, and I think that's just the nature of sports, right? Like that's the weird part about golf. I know you didn't come on here to talk about fixing professional golf, but the cool part about golf is you could be great in your 40s, and you got people that are playing for 25, 30 years, and the crowd's pulling for them. But at some point, it's like, oh well, so and so, won an event 23 years ago, and they're still getting exemptions over guys because of a career money list exemption. It's like, well, we need to see Mason now. It's like times have changed, and we gotta get some young bucks into these fields.
Yeah, and I
Um,
was gonna say one of the things is them getting rid of Monday qualifiers is like the worst thing that they could do because that is such a gateway for a lot of these guys playing in tour events. So
yeah,
I
unintended consequence of all the money that came into the game is the push towards limited fields. It's not good for the longevity of the game. We'll see what happens over the next 5-10 years, but we might have to dedicate a whole nother hour to deep dive into that because you haven't got the opinionated side of me yet. We're keeping this PG-13 for the junior audience, but I got some thoughts and opinions on that. So let's chum it up with a few minutes we got left on some fun golf talk. So what's some of your favorite courses you've played?
Yeah, favorite courses Oakland Hills and just outside of Detroit.
Yep, yep.
Um, the U.S. Junior was there last year and that was unreal. Sage Valley, just outside of Augusta, is
Okay.
awesome, and probably Bandon Dunes, Bandon
Hey,
Trail.
you get some.
Yeah,
Man, yeah, I got the. So you've been out to Bandon?
yeah, that was my first U.S. Junior in 2022, I believe.
Not a bad place to play that at. So you guys played trails and Bandon Dunes there? Yep.
And
When you were out there, did you get to play anything else?
yeah, I missed the cut, so I went and played Pac Pacific. Uh,
You know, to be honest, if you're gonna miss a cut somewhere, Bandon Dunes is the worst place to
yeah,
do it. You got a lot of good golf options. Yeah, that's a special place to me, man. That's the mecca of golf in the United States. I mean, I get it. People are, well, Scotland and Ireland. I'm like, yeah, that's a country though. I'm just talking about like Bandon is this one.
that is our Scotland and Ireland of America, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and the crazy part is it's in, like, I get it. Like, if I pool together the best courses of Scotland and Ireland, of course, it's as good as it gets. But you're going to one place, parking your car, and you're within 2 miles of Bandon Dunes, Bandon Trails,
And it's
Pacific Dunes,
crazy.
Sheep Ranch.
Trails and dunes are two completely different golf courses, but they're both so good.
And that's why the whole place is special. Everybody that hasn't been that says, oh, you're drinking the sauce. I'm like, hey, we're very critical on a lot of the places we go to. We actually get a lot of crap for it because, I'm like, we're not doing it for clickbait. We're just giving you our honest
Yeah.
opinions based on what we've seen. But it's the real deal. And it's one of the big reasons what you said. You can play all the courses there, and they are distinctly different golfing experiences. But yeah, trails I mean, I love trails. I think I have my personal rank there though. It's Pack Dunes, Old Mac,
Yep.
Bandon Dunes, Bandon Trails, Sheep Ranch. But that's Sheep Ranch is just an amazing view. It's a little further down the list for me of golf, but those four are interchangeable. Like you ask me any day of the week, and they're four of the top 6, 8 golf courses I've ever
Yeah,
played.
I didn't play Old Mac when we were out there. We played at Sheep's Ranch actually, and
Yeah.
we played Sheep's Ranch on a dead calm day,
Oh,
so
well, that's
it was beautiful. But in terms of like course conditions,
yeah.
trails, dunes, and pack are miles ahead.
Yeah, sheep ranches, it's so funny because a lot of people will give you these pro tips and say, play sheep ranch early in the morning because it's so high up and it's so exposed and it gets this crazy wind. I view it the exact opposite. The most fun we played sheep ranch like 4 times over a couple trips. The most fun we had, we were the last group to go off. They let us go off as a five some, and it was blowing 35 miles per hour. And we just played like every hole was a different game. Like you just don't worry about playing golf there. It's like a golf playground. It's like what you want Top Golf to actually be. It's like
I know,
this
I
is what
kinda wish we played it in miserable conditions because that would have been a lot that would actually been a lot of
and
fun.
it actually shows a lot of the course. There's actually some
Yeah,
pretty cool contours that when you get that prevailing wind, you're like, "Oh, I can sling this thing 40 yards and use that." It's
yeah.
actually more fun. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna make a 5-foot putt because the ball's blowing everywhere, but, you know, that you don't care at that point. Do you like pack dunes?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
We,
It's a little more raw than Bandon. Bandon's, like, plush, a little bit more the pack is a little bit,
no, if you miss the fairway on pack, you're not gonna be in any grass. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely it's different, it's raw. It's probably the closest to, a more Scottish link style than, the than Bandon. But Bandon's, I mean, it's great too. It's tons of fun. I
I played
love it.
Bandon when it was really windy in competition, and, I mean, that golf course, if it's not windy, I mean, it's wide open, but the
Yeah.
fairways get that much smaller when it is windy, and, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it kinda lulls you in because 'cause it's got some relatively large fairways, but depending on where the pins are, you kinda gotta zigzag as your approach, and yeah, if it's any of those courses, man, when it starts blowing, like, if you get north of 20, it's hard. I mean, it's there's no doubt about it. I mean, downwind is harder than into the wind almost when it gets like that fully exposed. At least down into the wind, you could control your ball a little bit, but downwind, it's a nightmare. So okay, I could really derail this pod going all in on Bandon. So let me ask a philosophical. We love diving into the nerd architecture side of golf. That's probably it might be a little bit. I got enough gray hairs to care about that now. But what do you look like? What do you think makes a really good golf course?
Mm. I think a golf course that has, like, fast and not too undulated greens. I think a golf course, like, that has super undulated greens that are super fast that you put yourself in a spot you're gonna 3 putt every time. Putting's, like, my favorite thing to do, so that's one thing I analyze the most.
Mhm.
I like to make a lot of putts.
That's
But,
fair.
yeah, and golf courses where off the tee matters. Um, I don't like golf courses where you can just step up to a tee and hit it anywhere and hit your next shot on the green. I think every shot should matter in some way. So
Man, you're really regurgitating some takes I've had here. You're gonna get, you're gonna get yourself in trouble with those kind of opinions in golf. Of it's not that I don't like fun, like because I play with mixed company, right? Like, so look, if the whole group is scratch or better, and it's a test, great. But there's a fine line there. I also don't like penal design. I don't love. No one likes residential OB. I
yeah,
don't
no,
love.
out of
Yeah,
bounds, out of
yeah.
bounds. I think dumb.
Yeah, it's not interesting golf. It's just a if then statement. But I think what you're getting at is like, so we went up to Sand Valley, and those are the guys that did Band of Dudes. They did Sand Valley, and it's an awesome resort, probably the second best I've been to in the U.S. But one of the courses there, Mammoth Dunes. People love Mammoth Dunes because it's you go shoot your lowest score. It's Mammoth. It's what it sounds like. The greens are the size of a clubhouse, and the fairways you can hit them 400 yards anywhere. But the part I didn't like about it is what you said is like there wasn't a benefit for hitting like a strategically well placed tee
Yeah,
shot. Like it's just almost like you could hit it anywhere and you're gonna use a bowl into the green. And that to me, I don't want people getting ejected left and right, but there should be some separating factor for
yeah. And
hitting a golf
I don't
shot.
mean like water lining every hole or out of
Yeah.
bounds every hole. I like just like fairway bunkers strategically placed
You,
where
you,
you have to look.
Have you played Old Barnwell yet?
I have not.
Okay, we're gonna somehow you got to put that on your priority list because you're describing it to a T. It has width and angles, but it is probably the most brilliant inland modern design you're ever gonna see. We had Brian Schneider on the pod recently, and I truly mean that it's right behind like abandoned trails to me in the like all-time ranking. But it's plenty of space for anybody to play it, but if you play it correctly, you get a massive discernible benefit. And the bunkering out there it's outrageous. It'll bite you, but after you play it, you're like, oh my god, I knew I should have done that.
And not to go back to like Oakmont or anything, but the
No,
way
do it.
that golf course was designed, like bunkers from 285 to 330, just every hole. So it's for the pros and guys like myself playing in that. There's a bunker at every landing zone, pretty much. And yeah, I mean, as hard as that golf course was, it was fair. There wasn't a shot that if you hit a bad shot, you're going to get punished no matter what. So
Yeah,
it's not like
it was a
fairways
gimmicky.
are so firm that you can't stay in them and things like that. But yeah, no, I like golf courses that are designed that you can shoot low on, but definitely still have some teeth.
Yeah, it's all about it's kind of variability is what you're looking for. Like the best golf holes can give you a birdie to a double without using out of bounds.
Yeah,
Like that's what you're really looking for.
yeah. I mean, I don't like golf courses. I mean, I think for us that play competitively, we like to see golf courses that if you play bad, you get exposed for playing bad golf. If you play good, you're going to get rewarded with a really good score, and just things like that. Not if you go play great and you get some terrible bounces or things like that. Like, I think that's pretty dumb. But
So, well, hey, let me ask you: should we be given relief for divots in a fairway?
I was actually in that qualifier at Piedmont Driving Club. I was in two. Um, that's so hard to say. Um,
It's okay.
oh,
Look, you can take the easy way out and just say, "Of course not. I'm a purist of the game, and it's the
yeah.
rub of the green."
I mean, probably, but then I think you could make an argument for mud balls. You should get relief. You should be able to clean off your ball because that's not something you can control either.
Yeah.
Um,
My only thing about it is, I know it's the whole two wrongs don't make a right counter argument, but we are giving relief in slowing down play for far more frivolous things
yeah,
on the golf course. And then something like super impactful, like your ball caked with mud or in a divot. The thing is, I'm totally good with the that's golf counter argument. I'm fine with it. I don't like that's golf counter argument plus, oh, it would be impossible to tell if it's in the divot. It's like everything else. It's the integrity of the player. Your relief is nearest point of relief from it. Like we don't got to get a rules official out there. How old is the divot? How much is it? That would have to be that simple, but it would drive people nuts. But golf has a way of legislating itself too. If there's somebody that was getting the reputation of
mm,
skirting that rule, I'm sure eventually they would get some eyes on them. And if they skirted it in the wrong time, they'd probably get a two stroke or maybe a DQ or whatever it is. Uh,
no, and like Scotty said it perfectly this year at Quail Hollow. I think he was on 15, had mud, felt like he had a good shot, and this ball flies in the water or whatever.
oh yeah.
Like they train to be the best golfers in the world, and if something's out of their hand like that, I think that's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's
that's
cool.
not something I can control. So I just
No,
gotta play with it.
and I know a lot of people hear that and they roll their eyes, but I again, my counter would be, I get it. I
Yeah,
understand the pro golfers deal with it, but you're also this isn't 1972, right? They're playing on golf courses that they're designed to be immaculate condition. Like the fairways are as good of like Quail Hollow fairways is as good of a surface as you're going to hit on. So the idea that it's the rub of the green, I'm like, yeah, but it's just needed 24 hours of drying out. They're hitting off of a tee every time. So now you're taking a lot. I mean, to me, that's where you got that really rough leaderboard the first 2 days is because a significant amount of just, standard deviation for those mud balls resulted in a lot of the top players, shooting a few strokes higher. So anyways, but I can't believe I'm riding for the mud ball guys. Now you got me riding for people that I don't even care about. So Mason, you know what, man, like I'll tell you this. Not only did I really enjoy that, I know you're 18 now, right? Because
yeah,
you're
just turned
17, so now you're 18. Extremely well spoken, put together. I can tell you're going to be a serious professional in whatever you do. And we hope it is in the world of golf because you clearly have the talent. Nobody just fires a 63 on a whim. That's in the bag. That's always there in the back of your head that gear is there. From the Please Let Us Golf family, we appreciate your time. We know you're busy. We're about to be heading out. Yeah, man, best wishes to you going on to UGA. I'll make sure you keep in touch. Make
Mhm.
sure you tell all your junior buddies that these Please Let Us Golf old guys are pretty good on the podcast front. And if you need anything on our end, man, if you need me to come down to Glenarvin and film how many shots do you got to give a scratch golfer versus a junior am, I'll come embarrass myself with you. But yeah, just appreciate it, Mason. Best wishes to you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me on. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, give us
Yeah.
another hour. I bet we could keep rambling on about some things.
We'll let you get through senior year, but after we get a little bit of tournament conditions under our belt at UGA, we'll bring you back on and we'll do an update. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, man. All right, let us heads. That is a deep dive with Mason Howell into the world of elite junior amateur golf. More to come on that down the road, but as always, stay plugged, and we will see you next week. Peace.